Welcome back to Golfsmith Radio. I'm Uncle Buck, along with the Shot Dog and Danny Joe Pole, the Polecat, two-time winner on the PGA Tour, Barton Trophy winner, and Ryder Cup member, and Jack has never been the same since. But, hey, we're live at Golfsmith at 54th Street and Ray Road, just east of I-10, of the glorious state of golf mecca of the world. And it's all about golf. It's all about improving your game, ways to improve your game. We're fortunate enough to have the 2009 PGA Teacher of the Year, Master Instructor. Got a new product out, and I can't wait to have him break this down for us, Mr. Mike Bender, way out of Florida way. Mike, how you doing today?
Great. Thanks a lot. Thanks for having me on the show.
You know, we're excited about it. We've got Polecat sitting here. We got Shot Dog. We've been doing this for about 5 years together now. We always like talking about new instructional pieces and guides. So maybe you got to talk a little bit about what you came up with. Or first, tell us a little bit more about yourself, Mike.
Well, you know, I came up like everybody else as far as playing competitive golf, and I played at Cal State Stanislaus, which not too many people have heard of, but they have a great golf program out there. They've won 12 national championships in Division III, and so I had a pretty good college career and then tried to make it on the tour and played the tour in 87, 88, and 89. So I had some playing background before I got into the teaching side of things, but one of the things that was interesting is I was always trying to improve my golf swing, you know, to be able to make the tour and stay out there and compete and everything. And back in those days, there weren't very many video cameras and not many training aids to speak of, that kind of thing. And so it was difficult, to say the least, to change your swing. And just like many amateurs face today, you know, they get a good idea, they get a hot tip, or they read a magazine, something like that, and they go out to the range and try it. But half the time, or most of the time, you're not, you know, doing what you think you're doing, even though it might feel different. So, you know, once I started getting into the teaching side of things, I really experienced the same frustration people had that I had when I was trying to change my swing. And, you know, I'd get back on that video camera after working on it for a week, and it wouldn't really look a lot different, you know. So I started using feedback where I would set a shaft and a noodle or something in the way where I had to swing either under it or over it, around it, and if I didn't, I'd bump into it, and it would kind of give me that needed feedback to let me know that, hey, I went back to my old habit or whatever. So, you know, so this has kind of evolved over the years, and trying to get people, as a teacher, trying to get people to improve the quickest and have a way that they can actually go out and get some quality practice. I mean, that's what you know, we're trying to always teach people to do.
All right, and well, Mike, go ahead and obviously you give a lot of lessons. You know, maybe you want to mention where you're at or where you do give lessons. I know you're in Florida, so why don't you give a shout out to your home course?
Yeah, I'm at Timaquan Country Club, which is in Lake Mary, a suburb of Orlando. So we got a great location here. I've been here ever since I got off the tour, pretty much. So it's been 21 years or so at the same location, and you know, it's a great spot. We work with a lot of guys from, you know, Zach Johnson on the tour to, you know, regular beginners and people just starting. So we have a wide variety of clientele here. Okay,
well, now let's talk about the Benderstik. Why don't you describe the Benderstik to our listeners?
Well, basically what it is, it's a rod. I mean, we've all seen those ball retrievers that are extendable, that stretch out and, you know, you get balls out. Well, this has kind of got the same type of stick on the end where you can make it go in and out to change different lengths. And then at the top of it, it's got appropriately named. I mean, it's got a piece that bends around, and at the end of that is a ball, a foam ball. So the idea is it's very easy to put in your bag, and what you can do then is you pull it out, and there's a stake that goes in the bottom of it, and you just stick it in the ground, and then you bend the yellow ball into position so that when you're swinging, let's say you're coming over the top and you have a slice, and you've been, you know, your hands are out to in, they're swinging inside out. Well, if we put the ball in the right spot, you can't swing that way. So it basically produces a barrier in which you have to swing underneath. So it forces you to change your old habit and to move the club more down from the inside. And, you know, a lot of training aids on the market today. There's tons of golf training aids. And, you know, but the difference with this is that it's really versatile in the fact that it can work on virtually anything in your swing, from the takeaway to the top of the backswing to impact to through swing. And, you know, a lot of training aids just kind of focus on maybe one or two things, and that's it.
Well, here's the thing. I want to break it down for our listeners a little bit. It's like 3/4 of this rigid steel, and it's like a ball extender, like you said. You can stick it in the ground, but the top third of it is like one of those flashlights, a bendable flashlight that you can put in position and wrap around.
Like a snake.
Like a snake flashlight. It bends it. You bend it in a position, it holds. So the top third of this bends, and there's about the size of a softball, a jumbo softball that's foam on the end of it, and then you can position that accordingly. But I noticed in your video, Mike, that you tend to use your stand bag as far as the holder. You slip it into the stand bag and position your bag accordingly. And I thought maybe you want to address that a little bit.
Well, we originally came up with that idea from the standpoint of, let's say you're on a mat, or you're down in a basement, or you're somewhere where you can't stick something in the ground. So we wanted to make sure that we could put it in a stand bag also, so we had another way of holding it. And so that's kind of the original intent. And then, a lot of people, most people ride on golf carts, so they have a little bit bigger bag, what have you. So then we came up with the idea of just putting the stake in the bottom of it. So you can use it either way, which is really great again. And, it works, like I said, it really does a nice job at producing feedback and giving you quality practice when the pro's not there. Or if you take a lesson from your pro and he's having you work on something, you can use this to guarantee that you're making the move that the pro is wanting you to do. And for that, that's great because it's not conducive. A lot of people think it has my name on it. Everybody, has got to swing like I recommend, whatever. But that's not really the case. It's more a versatile tool that any teacher could use to really, improve your game.
Hey, Mike, give our listeners the best place to go to watch the video or to see what this instruction tool looks like.
Yeah, I mean, Benderstik.com, and then you can also get to it off of my website, which is just MikeBender.com, and there's a link over on there, and you can link on it, and there's a lot of thumbnails and things that talk about, most asked questions and kind of explains it. And I'm doing a lot of talking on there as well on how to use it, and then also, why it's so necessary to practice this way. And I think, the more people are educated as to the best way to practice, the more we're going to help people play better golf, because most people go to the range and, like I said, they get a bucket of balls and they start hitting away, and they really don't know what they're trying to do, or their feel is misleading them. And anybody can, even a good shot or even a bad swing produces good shots once in a while. You know what I mean? So
sure, without a doubt.
Sometimes it can deceive you.
I know about that.
It can happen.
Yeah, I do know that happens once in a while. But I noticed in your DVD that you break it down in categories. You had takeaway, a chicken wing, over the top. Why don't you tell us about how you have that for study purposes, the different areas that maybe need improvement?
Yeah, I think one thing is to have a training aid is great, but you got to know, it's not like one size fits all for everybody, and so everybody has a unique swing and they have unique problems, and so basically the first thing that someone has to do is diagnose and what it is that their problem is, whether it's coming over the top or whether they're taking the club head way inside. And like I said, if somebody's had a lesson before, usually they kind of know what their swing does. And so by watching the video that we produced, it really helps you to identify kind of what would be the best way for you to utilize this tool. And, that's another thing is once you kind of get that problem under control, like let's say it's coming from the inside, you need to do that more, but you still got to, you might fix that, but you still might have a little bit of a chicken wing or poor extension on the follow-through. So then we use the tool in a different way for that. So, we even have people using two at a time, something in their backswing and something in their follow-through.
Well, I'm looking at the Benderstik. It looks like keeping your head still or fairly still, this would help immensely for that.
I was going to ask you, is that the best way to use it, is initially getting started, is trying to keep your head still?
Well, I think sometimes people have a hard time with their head because what happens is when your head moves to the right, your eyes move to the left. It kind of makes your brain think that your head's staying steady. In fact, you're really swaying off the ball, So if a really big thing in people's swings is when they get to the top of their swing, they kind of lean into the ball, so their head moves forward and actually gets on top of the ball or in front of the ball. So by placing the bender stick in the right spot at address, it can keep your head back and behind the ball, and all the way through. And so it really helps you with that. It really helps you develop the right feel, because obviously, people go to me, well, I can't use that thing on the golf course. And I go, you're 100% right. But if you develop the feel on the range with it, that feeling then is what you take to the course, and that feeling is going to be accurate. Because, Greg Norman had a saying years ago. He said, feel is not real. And I think a lot of us that take lessons or give lessons as well, experience that type of thing.
Well, everybody's using sticks and stakes and everything that's all around that they can find on the range or take to the range. This is one unit that you can adjust in several different positions and or locations when you practice swing. It's a one tool for all
one-stop
things.
shop.
Exactly, pretty much. But one more time, Mike, where would you like them to go take a look at this again? Your couple of websites, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, just thanks. Just Benderstik.com, pretty simple. Remember, and then they can also come on my website, MikeBender.com, and get some more information on it. There's a link right there, and and the thing that I just want to say is that a lot of times people think this is kind of an advertisement and everything, but really, what I like about it is, and I appreciate you guys having me on, is it's trying to educate people really on what quality practice is versus just out there beating balls and getting exercise. So
right.
I hope everyone will kind of look into, if you don't use feedback as a method for improving, I hope you look into that style of training, because it's amazing the results that we've gotten and are getting when people use that feedback.
That's a good word, and that is a good word to end on, Mike. We want to appreciate you for coming along today. That is a 2009 PGA Teacher of the Year, PGA Master Instructor, Mr. Mike Bender, and his new product, the Benderstik. All right, good luck to you. We wish you the best.
Hey, guys, thanks a lot. I appreciate you having me on, and sounds like you have a lot of fun on your show. Wish I could get it down here.
We work it.
We try.
We try very hard, but hey, good luck to you, and we'll follow up with you.
Okay, sounds good.